Everyone, and welcome to the Week 13 review, Week 14 preview. As always, I'm your commish and reigning champ. Here's the trophy. We love it. We kiss it. Mwah. Joel Gibson, how are you doing, sir?
Oh, I'm doing all right this evening. Doing all right.
Yeah, excellent. I'm glad to hear it. We'll start off with this week was the trade deadline. Absolute crickets at the trade deadline for the first time, I believe, in the history of the league.
Yeah. I think this is a tough year. Everyone's adjusting. Maybe next year will be a little bit more active. I bet you the off season will force teams to make some moves too.
Yeah, I agree, especially with the cap situation and stuff like that. A few teams are in danger of losing all their free agent money, and that would be an absolute killer. You'd be giving up your season. So, man, that's tough. It's going to be interesting to see what happens in the offseason. Now, everybody remember, you cannot trade until after our championship, okay? No trading at all. That's just the way we're going to do it. Last thing with 2 weeks left, I do want to bring up that the number one pick goes to the consolation bracket winner. Okay? It's a little bit different this year than has been in years past. That bottom four tournament actually means something. Just because you get in does not guarantee you the number one pick. You still got to fight for the number one pick. You can be the lowest team, and if you lose in the consolation bracket, end up getting the second pick based on the standings, but only the actual winner of the consolation bracket gets the first pick. None of those other three, how they finish, matters. Picks are based on where you finish in the season. Consolation bracket, it's just the winner of that gets the number one seed. I hope that makes sense to everybody. If you have any specific questions, let me know. So that's just something to pay attention to. Everybody's going to have something. It's also going to be very interesting to see the wire during the first week. And as teams whittle down, there will be more teams active on the wire, at least to start out. It's going to liven things up a little bit. It's going to make free agent money more important, things like that. So we're going to see how it goes this season. Just something for everyone to keep in mind. Now let's get into the review of Week 13. We'll start with the champs matchup as always. Modest goes down to Kyle by one block. I don't really have a lot to say. I wanted to come out and be like, oh, woe is me, I had a bunch of injuries, whatever, fuck me, whatever. Doesn't matter. A loss is a loss. It's just a cherry on the top of the fucking shit sandwich that this weekend has been. Joel, you don't watch the NFL, so you don't know that the Dolphins lost to the Bills today by a field goal when they were 14-point underdogs. They weren't supposed to be anywhere close in this game because we were on our third string quarterback. And we at least made it a game. Sucks we lost that. Just nothing seemed to go my way this weekend. And of course, the absolute last thing to end the week is losing to Kyle in fantasy. He had the longest losing streak. I had the longest winning streak. And of course, this is the week I lose.
Yeah, I think Michael Porter took it personal, all those things that you said against him in the past.
Yeah, it also really hurts that Kyle sat two people tonight that likely could have given me the win in turnovers. I don't know if I could have held everything else, but it was certainly close. Kyle didn't add it all this week either. I had to use all 7 of my ads. 5 of my best 7 players did not play this week. 2 of them being on my IR permanently. Paul George has officially retired from playing consistently. Joker sat out randomly. Freddie Van Fleet sat out randomly. Hero was out all week.
woe is you, Jokic sat out a game. Dude, look at his last, 5 games.
I know.
4 triple-doubles.
I can't even... I know. I can't be mad at him. I'm not mad at him. I get it. I understand. Okay? He needs to sit every now and again. I get it. I totally understand. 2 triple-doubles this matchup. I can't even really... I'm not mad at him. He's the one that played a couple games this week. I don't know what you want from me. But...
underappreciate him and should trade him to me immediately.
Oh, I'm bummed out because that moves me down to 8-5. Moves Kyle up to 5-8, which does technically put him back in the playoff picture. As we get into the preview, I'll go into that a little bit more. 8-5 though is good enough to clinch a playoff spot with 2 weeks to go. So I am in the playoffs for the 3rd straight season. Congratulations to me. And as we go through, if you are 8-5 and better, you have clinched the playoffs as well. I just happen to be the first one. Why, Joel Gibson? Because I have the trophy. Sorry, I gotta really start emphasizing it just in case. I've been confident, but now we're starting to rack up those injuries, and I'm like, oh, fuck, it could really be a problem.
You get it in while you can, because you might be losing it sometime soon.
Oh, man, I don't know. We're going to see. I have 2 tough matchups, but I can't really, screw myself out of a spot here other than making myself a home team in that 3-5 spot. I'm either going to be the 6 playing the 3 or in the 4-5 matchup, and home court doesn't really bother me because I have Joker. So triple doubles, I have a little bit of an advantage. So I'm in that spot that these next 2 weeks don't mean nearly as much to me as it does to everybody else. Next matchup, we've got Matt beating Phil. Matt has been on fire. He's an absolute rocket ship, it seems like. And Phil without AD, yeah, that's a problem. But Matt is putting up really good numbers. Matt moves to 8-5 playoffs. Phil goes down to 8-5 playoffs. And that's the 3-way tie in the 3-6 area. Between the 3 of us. Like I said, when we get into the preview, I'll go through it a little bit. Anything on this matchup, Joel?
Matt's looking pretty good. It's not often that I say that, but, I do really love Donovan Mitchell after, having lived in Ohio and watching him this season quite a bit. And, John Morant's amazing.
And Mason Plumlee's getting 35 minutes now in Charlotte. So I don't know what you do. Valanciunas is putting up 40 pieces. I don't know what you do with this team if that's going to happen. That's all I'm going to say. I don't know what you do with it. Goddamn.
Town never comes back.
Goddamn fan tracks again. And Matt again is an absolute moonbeam right now. He is just, I don't know. I don't want to be in Matt's way the rest of the tournament. You guys can play him. I'll play him in the championship. Hopefully when everything's calmed down on his team, you guys go ahead and take whatever it is that he's dishing out. But shout out to Matt for the good run. Next matchup is Neiman at Joel. Neiman destroys Joel. Let me reiterate. Joel Gibson moving back under 500. Do you have anything to say for yourself? Joel, let me ask you, has there been a season that you finished under 500? I don't remember one.
I don't remember one either. This team is built for the long term.
Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Are some short-term pieces here, but I think of it more like a car that, some used cars, but a whole bunch of new ones are coming on. And man, this is going to be an exciting team if you just give it a couple years. So it's a bummer to see Tyrese Halliburton take an injury. Jalen Duran was playing really well, but he's injured. But honestly, there's a lot to be optimistic about here. I was telling you earlier, I think I just obliterated that Kawhi trade. I can't believe that Kyle came to me, and I give him garbage. At the end of the day, Jalen Smith is not playing well, and Kelly Olynyk was playing really well, but now he's injured.
Yeah.
And you know what? Kawhi Leonard is out there playing at like a second-round value, just annihilating things. And honestly, it feels so good to be reunited with my guy. I just want to see Chris Middleton like play some good minutes. And there was a point where I mentioned Markelle Fultz to you, and you laughed at me. But he's looking fucking nice. I am optimistic. So fuck off.
No. Correction. I have been one of the biggest Fultz. No. We're not doing this. I laughed at your change in opinion of Markelle Fultz. I did not laugh at supporting Fultz. If you remember, I have been, and it's documented. Joel, you need to start watching old videos because I have proof that I was a Fultz lover and you a Fultz hater. And now all of a sudden, you jump onto the Fultz bandwagon and now I'm the one that's laughing at you?
You know what? Who has drafted Fultz twice and who's drafted him once? I've drafted him twice. This is my second go around with this guy. You drafted him once. I never gave up.
Okay. I'm glad you never gave up. That's exactly what the Sixers said while he was injured that whole time. We will not give up. Okay. But anyway, Neiman continues to roll 11-2. That's an impressive record. We're just going to see. The way this is shaping out, the bottom of the playoffs is not like it's been in the past. We might see an 8-1. We might see it. I'm not 100% sure, but the bottom of this bracket, man, it's going to be an absolute fist fight in the playoffs this year. It's going to be awesome. Next matchup is Adam beating Steven. Not a big surprise here. Steven moves to 5-8. Adam moves to 10-3. Adam, I believe this is his second season with 10 wins. Did he get there last year? Did he have 9? I can't remember. It was either 9 or 10. He was close.
I can't remember either, but good season for Adam. Steven's just got a tough year. He's had injuries all year. DeMar DeRozan, was that this week or last week that he went down?
I think it was this week because I think Steven played me. Was that last week that he played me? And DeMar was playing. So yeah. I believe. No, I played Eric last week. So it might have been last week. I played Eric last week, Steven the week before that.
But Devin Vassell being injured, DeMar DeRozan being injured. It's just been tough for Steven. It wasn't going to happen for him this week, and, there will be better weeks to come.
Absolutely. Like I said, Steven 5-8, Adam 10-3. Next matchup is an absolute head-scratcher. We have Eric beating CJ. CJ at home. That's gonna hurt. That is gonna hurt. I am astonished. What's that?
Who do you think is more disappointed?
Man, oh, Jesus. I don't know. It's tough. We're going to have to see how we work out the seeding for the consolation bracket as well. Like, do we put it as 11 versus 12, 9 versus 10 if we're competing for something? Or is it 9 versus 12, 10 versus 11? I don't know the answer to that. We should probably figure that out.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just thought of that. That's a big deal. That's a really big deal that if we're going to put something that means so much, I think it's got to be 9, 12, 10, 11. Well, technically it'd be 12 at 9, 10 at 11.
That makes sense.
Or 11 at 10. Jesus. The lower number's the home team. Okay? The lower number's the home team.
That makes sense to me.
Because you got to have some, like, advantage for being a higher seed. And you're just tanking the season to get the highest pick should you lose the tournament. So if it's a... Yeah, I think we got to do it that way. I might have to edit that bracket. So everybody keep that in mind. In the consolation, I'll just say that now. In the consolation bracket, it will be 12 at number 9, 11 at 10, and then the highest seed will be the away team for that final matchup. Because there's only 2 weeks of the consolation bracket. So, like, if somehow the 12 beats the 9, the 12 will be still away in their next game. Does that make sense?
Yeah, you guys just witnessed history being made. This is how the commish gets it done.
This is how the commish gets it done. He thinks about it weeks in advance.
Good with the flow.
And absolutely a reason for everybody to watch these videos the whole way through. That's important as information. I'm not posting it. I'm putting it on these videos. And if you don't know what's going on and you're in the consolation bracket, I'm sorry. I don't know what you want from me. Watch the videos. Last matchup. Last thing on Eric and CJ. CJ moves to 6 and 7. Eric moves to 3 and 10. That makes Eric the 11. So he's in a different matchup now, technically. I mean, I think he was already because he beat Cody. That was one of his wins. So I don't think that it was possible for Eric to get that 12 spot. But now it is impossible. Even if he loses both of them and Cody should somehow win one, Cody still gets that 12. So congratulations, Cody. You locked in at least the number 2 pick next season unless you somehow win these last 2 matchups. Like, don't win them both. You can win one, don't win them both, okay? Do not screw yourself out of a pick. Or out of a positional pick. Last matchup is Cody, who we were just talking about, at Doug. Doug takes care of business here, moves to 6 and 7. Cody moves to 2 and 11. Yikes.
Yeah, I mean, Eric, that win's gotta hurt. And Cody, you showed him how to get it done. You just went out there and you got trampled. I mean, it wasn't like a trampling like my matchup where it was almost double digits, but you did get the loss done. Well done, sir.
Well done. And also, Eric, that means you have nothing to lose this coming week. How about we set those lineups, big fella? Every day. Here we go. He might be able to pull 4 wins out of this. He can't lose a spot. Even if he wins both, he can't literally advance or move. Those last 2 are locked into place. That being said, let's get right into next week. I do have my power rankings listed, and based on where everybody stands now. Now, there are a couple that I have out of position based on tiebreakers, which I'll emphasize, just based on health right now. Next week, we will start with the champs matchup. It's CJ at Modest. This is an extremely important matchup for CJ. CJ, I have him right now at the 6th spot. And the reason why I have him there over Doug and Joel is really he has to play me, and I'm not healthy at all. Now, him losing to Eric is definitely a question mark as to whether or not he can beat me. But I think that Curry's going to come around. I know that KD is out, Capella's still out, but CJ... his roster's relatively healthy if you look at it compared to mine. CJ could go up. CJ could go down. CJ could get knocked out of the playoffs, theoretically.
Well,
What?
CJ is not quite healthy. If you look at his roster, he's down. He's got a flag on Capella, Kevin Durant,
Both on his IR. I'll raise you, Booker and Cunningham. Go ahead.
John Wall, Miles Turner, Rudy Gobert. So it's not like
All right, well, flip over.
any injuries.
Flip over to my roster, and you'll see 6 flags on my active roster, I think. Or at least there were before I added and dropped today. Hero, Paul George. I could keep going. CJ is healthier than I am. I think that I'm...
Hero does not have an injury or a flag next to his name anymore.
Oh, he is going to play this week. Wow, I didn't see that report. That's fantastic.
On your active roster, it's Paul George and Van Fleet with a flag.
Excellent. Look out. Then look the fuck out, CJ. I'm the home team this week. I don't give a shit if I have nothing to play for. Here it comes. Here it comes. I have myself at the 5. I put Matt and Phil above me once we get to their matchup, mainly because of my health concerns and opponents we play this week. And yeah, that's really interesting. I should say, never mind. I think I fucked up earlier in the video. If I did, Matt played Phil. I don't know. Did I say Matt played Neiman earlier?
I don't think so, but, it's very...
If I did, it's because Matt plays Neiman next week, this coming week, and so I apologize if I messed that up. Anyway, I'm picking myself at home. I had no idea I was so healthy. Go Modest. Let's go.
Yeah, you as well after that surprising deep dive we did on you guys.
Absolutely. I am shocked by it. Apparently, I've been just, down in the dumps. CJ, like I said, this is way more important for CJ than it is for me. CJ could fall out of the playoff picture if he loses these next 2 weeks. Yeah, I'm still sticking with me, but yeah, that sucks for CJ. Man, he is so good on paper. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. And also, he's still got Steph Curry and James Harden. Anything could happen with that combination.
That's true. Adds and drops could be important, and health as we go through the weeks. We have no idea. Next matchup is Neiman at Matt. I have Matt at the 4, just above me, despite him beating Phil last week. I put Phil at the 3 because he plays Cody this week. We'll get to that. But I'm just pointing out... I beat Matt as well, so if it gets to it and it's head-to-head matchup, I will be in front of Matt. I just thought that I should have put myself at 4. My power rankings suck. Look how much I thought I was going to lose that matchup. Man, all right, I think, I want to say Matt beats Neiman. I beat Neiman. I want to say Matt gets it done here. It's close, but Matt's bottom is deeper than Neiman's, in my opinion.
Well, Brandon Ingram is out Monday's Cavs game, which is disappointing on multiple levels.
Yeah.
And John Morant has a flag next to his name. He's questionable for Monday's game. It's really tough because Neiman has been a buzzsaw this year. I'm going to pick...
How dare you? Did you just call him a buzzsaw? That's the term you choose to pick.
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
Yeah. Anyways, if Markkanen is playing, I'm picking Neiman.
Okay. Man, wowza. That's going to be a really fun matchup to watch. Should be very interesting. Next matchup is Kyle at Adam. Adam's going to win this matchup. He is not nearly as injured as I was last week, and he's been good this year.
Yeah, I'm picking against Kyle as well.
Excellent. I have Adam at 2, Kyle at 10. Theoretically, Kyle could get into the playoffs if he wins this matchup. I don't necessarily foresee that. But, yeah, it'll be really interesting if Matt wins, because then you've got Neiman and Adam both at 11 and 3. So that 1 seed could theoretically be up in the air as we head into the last week of the season, which who doesn't want to see that? That's interesting. Next matchup is Joel at Doug. I have Doug at 7 and Joel at 8, mainly because I think Doug is going to win this matchup. I don't really have too much other than that. There's a possibility here that we may have a Joel-free playoff.
It's very possible. It has maybe, I mean, I don't think it's ever happened, but including my IR right now, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 flags. 7 players with flags on my roster right now. We're taking on water on all sides. But all we have is coffee cup. And, these coffee mugs are not shoveling water out of this lifeboat fast enough. So I'm picking Doug. But like I said, I'm not getting discouraged. I think this team's got a ton of potential.
Excellent. Joel, do you remember my tank season that I had the 1 year? I also finished as the 9, just outside of the playoffs, missed it by 1 game. You are on track to do that, and then I won 2 of the 3 next years. So if history is any indication, you might be in for some good things in the future. Let's hope not. I picked Doug. Next matchup is Steven at Eric. This is one that Steven has to have. Has to have it if he wants into the playoffs. He could theoretically get in. He's the 9 right now. He would be the one knocking you out. I do believe that Steven beat you in head-to-head, if I remember.
I believe so as well.
So if that's the case, head-to-head, if Steven wins against Eric, which is very doable, and especially if Eric doesn't set his lineups, Joel, you may be number 9 going into the final week of the season. That'll be extremely interesting on how everybody approaches the last week of the season. Last matchup, sleeper, Phil at Cody. Cody's not going to win this matchup. It doesn't matter. Phil is going to move to 9 and 5. That's why he's at the 3. He's guaranteed a 9 and 5, where Matt and I are definitely up in the air. Matt a little bit more than me. I didn't know I was so healthy. Holy cow.
But yeah, I agree. Cody is not going to win this week.
Yeah. Interesting little tidbit. I beat Matt. Phil beat me. Matt beat Phil. So, theoretically, this was a divisional matchup. Phil won the first one against Matt. So, this is what makes it interesting. They're tied. If they finish the same, they go to divisional records. If Phil and I finish the same, Phil has the win over me. If Matt and I finish the same, I have the win over Matt. Now, if we all 3 finish the same, Matt and I have a better divisional record than Phil. Very interesting if we all 3 finish the same, because that means that all 3 of us, there's no way to break that tie other than going to divisionals. That you can't break that up.
Yeah.
So divisional records could be extremely huge. And right now, I'm 5-3, Matt's 5-3, and Phil is 4-4 in the division. These next two games, both divisional games, and extremely important for the 3 through 6 seed.
Well, we will anxiously await to see how it shakes out.
Absolutely. It's going to be good. We ran a little long tonight, Joel, mainly because I feel like we rambled on a few. I rambled on a few. I didn't know I was so healthy.
And I didn't know we were going to talk about Markelle Fultz so in depth, but I'm glad that I can prove that I've been believing longer than you.
Oh, excellent! I'm glad to hear it. I guess I don't know what you want. He was on a championship team of mine, so I don't know how many championships you won with him, but I won one. If we want to go back to it. All right, well, good luck, everybody. Only 2 more weeks of the regular season left. Good luck. I hope everyone's endeavors work out, except for CJ this week. Good luck.
Adios, folks.
Bye.